So, why is it that people don't like anime filler episodes? I find that most of them complain about it not really adding to the story, or maybe it's just not interesting sometimes. And I know that could be true, especially if you're watching an anime where the protagonists are literally fighting demons and shit. You don't really want to see them take a whole episode dedicated to them, like, I don't know, going to the beach or going to an onsen, or maybe even like, spending a day at home. And I even get the other side where they say it's wasting space. That, an anime with over 100 episodes is only like that because they have a bunch of episodes dedicated to literally nothing happening. And while I empathize with that group, I'm here to, like, give a different side of that story. Like, sometimes when you got anime that's going for over 100 episodes, maybe 200, maybe 300, or even, Naruto Shippuden's at 500, One Piece is over 1,000 right now. Sometimes you want to take a break. Sometimes you don't want to be fighting demons or pirates or other ninja or, whatever Dragon Ball Z has that week. Usually it's an alien. You can actually tell how old I am because I'm saying Naruto and One Piece and Dragon Ball Z are relevant to this day. Despite the fact One Piece is actually still going on as I speak right now in 2024, that's crazy. So I'm just thinking, like, you gotta put a lot of episodes in there. And some of those episodes are going to be quote unquote filler. So I'm in this weird camp where I love filler episodes. I think they're a time to get to know the characters that you've been following for maybe like 24 episodes. Actually, now it's kind of more like, if it's a 12 episode anime, it's episode 6 or 7, basically, is when you get a filler episode. That may be egregious, but also sometimes I need a break from a 12 episode anime. But, I like getting to know the characters. I like seeing them in different situations from what they're going through right now. I like finding out little facts about them. Naruto filler episodes are especially funny to me because we go from, fighting like the guy you thought was the most just scariest badass guy in the world. Then you got the tuning exams where you're fighting the weirdest motherfuckers. And then all of a sudden you have an episode about the kids trying to figure out what's under Kakashi's mask. I'm using Naruto as an example because, once again, I am that old and I know Naruto. Naruto is one of my favorite anime. It has a lot of filler episodes. So, while it may not be much, I still think there's value in them. Like, I don't know. What if you want to know what your favorite badass shonen protagonist, like, favorite color is or something? And they have a whole episode about that where he's just doing coloring and shit in a coloring book, and he's just like, man, I love the color fucking fuchsia. Fuchsia's a good color that I enjoy. And you're just like, Goji, I didn't know that about you. That's so crazy. I just made up a name. I think I actually combined Yuji and Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, I guess that's them now. That's Goji. I Yeah, so you find out about both of their favorite colors being fuchsia. And, like, you know, maybe I'm talking about nothing. Maybe this itself is a filler episode at the end of the day. But you're learning something, aren't you? No? Good. I am not an educational channel. Hopefully most of the people watching this know what a filler episode is. You even get, like, accusations of, like, cartoons, like, you know, Western cartoons having filler episodes. When traditionally, Western cartoons don't do that. They're every episode that you have in a cartoon, like a TV show that you play out here, is important to the plot. I see, like, the same thing for Adventure Time and, like, Steven Universe. Those two shows, those were the ones where I actually got confused, because knowing the way that the characters are and the world they live in are, sometimes it just feels like a part of the plot. Like, yeah, Steven growing melons that are him is weird and out there, but it kind of showcases that he can do that. That's one of his powers. And also, like, you know, he uses that power again. Like, it's not there for no reason. It's the same thing with Adventure Time. While I learned most of what I know from osmosis, I know for a fact every single piece of that show is important to the show. You don't have the luxury of just making a random episode. Every bit of it needs to be used. So it's not like, to me, filler episodes aren't a waste. They add to the show. They add a richness that you wouldn't have if you just went beat by beat along with the story. No time to relax, no time to have some reprieve. Especially in Steven Universe, you need time to collect yourself. Some of that shit hits hard. Like, no matter how you feel about the show, sometimes that shit hits hard. And sometimes I don't want to deal with that every time I watch the show. Sometimes I just want to fucking eat the fucking lion shit. I don't know, the kitty ice cream. This show is very old too, by the way. It's been generations. Man, the passage of time. But let's duck back to anime real quick, because while just Western cartoons don't have traditional filler episodes, I don't think it really exemplifies what they are as well as, you know, anime does. So with anime, usually the format, from my understanding, from what I'm seeing, is you're getting the plot, you're figuring out who the characters are. If the show is longer, you have longer time figuring out the characters. If the show is 12 or 11 episodes long, you literally have an episode or two to really knock out who these characters are. And from there, you get into the plot, you get into the main conflict. By 6 or 7, like the episode 6 or 7, random episode, we're at the beach. Or we're at an onsen, depending on the scene it's in. Or, you know what? Some anime, you get both. There's just one filler where you're at the beach, and one filler where you're at an onsen. And now, this is the part where I completely just devalue my whole argument just right now. Why is it that we're only going to the beach, or we're only going to the onsen in some of these anime filler episodes? I'm telling you, I've watched a lot of anime. I don't remember most of them, but I've watched a lot of them. If you showed me an anime, I would tell you the exact vibe, where I was when I was watching it, how old I was when I was watching it, everything. Couldn't tell you the plot, couldn't remember a name, but I knew what was going on. I knew what happened, and I knew it had an episode where somebody's in a swimsuit, or somebody's playing ping pong at the onsen, or the inn that they're staying at. Like, it's just, if you have a filler episode, the first thing someone thinks of is the beach. The second thing is a bathhouse or an onsen. Like, just one of those. It's just built into the thing. And, like, the reason for that, mainly, is fan service. Depending on, I'm praying to God, how old the characters are and what they're doing, sometimes they want to show the girl characters in bikinis. And it always bothered me, because the boy characters, if it was the comic relief character, he's wearing like a Speedo, but everyone else is wearing these boring trunks. Like, live a little, put a pattern on it. I don't care. Literally anything. Just, it was annoying. But, like, everyone was, you know, at the beach. If it's the onsen, it's a chance to have the girl characters be in a bath together. Even as recently as this random, like, detective anime I wanted to watch, they had an onsen episode where, at least, they were solving a murder in there. So that's a little different, but we're still at the same place. My point is that we need to get more creative with the filler episodes, which might be why people don't actually like them. They do take up space when you're just going to the beach. Like, all I really learn about the beach is, like, what I can do at the beach and whether or not the character I like can swim. And see, despite the fact that I've said multiple times that I'm a hater, I don't actually talk about things I hate that often. So, here I am, talking about something I do not like about filler episodes. I don't like that the locations don't change. I don't like that we just do it because we want to see girls in different outfits when they could just literally wear different outfits during their usual times. I think that episodes, like filler episodes that go too far out of where we're at, can be a little jarring. Like, if all of a sudden my dear friends from Demon Slayer, I don't watch the show, to be honest, I'm not really that interested in it, but I watched a couple episodes, thought it was nice. Don't know what's happening now, so don't at me. I literally don't know what's happening. But if my little guy, Tanjiro, that's his name, my little guy Tanjiro came out and he was just fighting and slaying those demons, having a good time, doing the cool animation, and all of a sudden we have this just no budget episode where he and his sister are just at the beach, unprompted, don't know what's happening. I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, it's here, and we are all here, sure. But, like, I need the filler episode to make sense sometimes. Like, if there was build up to say, hey, we're heading to the coast, and, you know, it's a time for us to all relax, get away from it all, just chill out on the beach. Like an episode before, like at the very end of the last episode, they were just like, man, we just got fucked up. Let's take a break. I would be for it. That's the time I'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's go to the beach. But no, if they just randomly in Demon Slayer was just like, boom, 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 blap, here we are at the beach, I would have been like, I don't know about this one. Maybe the girlies were right. Maybe filler episodes aren't that great. Then yeah. No, I would not accept that as a good filler episode. But what I would consider a good filler episode are episodes that, you know, it takes you out of what you're currently doing, but not too far out that you wouldn't believe this is happening. Oh, another thing I hate is when it's all a dream and like they wake up and they're still in hell, but they were just dreaming about being at the beach or at a hot spring. Like, it's just whatever to them. And I'm just like, okay, like that's just cruel at that point. I feel bad for that character. But like, for instance, in Jujutsu Kaisen, if all of a sudden Yuji's just like, fuck it, I'm taking a break, I'm going to the fucking library just to read, just to study, because apparently I don't know if I'm in school or not. Once again, all I watched was the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. I know someone dies. I know nothing else about this show. Do not at me. I liked what I watched the first season, and I'm good with that. Anyway, Yuji just straight up just says, fuck it, I'm going to the library. I'm going to be quiet the whole episode, and hijinks will ensue in silence. That would be fun. That would be believable. I would have a good time. I will learn that Yuji likes libraries, that he's respectful of the time, and he does not talk in libraries. I could potentially learn books he likes. I could potentially learn the lengths he will go to protect the sanctity that is a library. And like all these things, like just these silly little facts you would not learn during the show. Those are the kinds of filler episodes I like. Because those are the times when you will say, yes, this random shonen character does in fact like takoyaki. Very much to the point that he has a whole episode dedicated to him trying to find the best takoyaki. That's it. Like, I'll be there. I'll walk with him. That's funny. And like, to switch to a different genre in anime, sports anime. I'm a huge, big fan of sports anime. I watched them all. I remember most of them. Unlike with other anime, I remember most of the sports anime I watch. Haikyuu, fucking Prince of Tennis, big one for me. Kuroko no Basket, fucking Slam Dunk, Fucking Inazuma 11, great show. You gotta watch it if you haven't. Uh, Obviously, All Out, the greatest. No, listen to me. All Out is the greatest sports anime of all time. I highly recommend it. Like, just all of them. If I didn't name one you knew, I swear to God, I have watched it. I am just running on fumes right now. I would have remembered the name. I watched that sports anime. But, like, they run into the same problem where they're just going to the beach. They're just going to a hot spring. Most of the time, the inn that they stay in at the hot spring is run down, just wreckage. A lot of onsen, like, filler episodes are like that, where the inn is just wrecked. Like, it's gone. And they're just like, fuck, man. When are we gonna stay somewhere nice? I think the one time I saw the character stay at a nice onsen, it was in, like, Prince of Tennis. They had a normal onsen that they stayed in. Everything was nice, everything was accommodated. But I digress. Point is, Prince of Tennis, I'm going to bring this up as an example because I literally just finished watching most all of it. And they have a few filler episodes where they're not even playing the same sport that they usually play. Like, it's called Prince of Tennis. They're supposed to be playing tennis. But here we go. We got Prince of Bowling, where we have a whole episode where they have a bowling tournament. And if they lose, they fucking get killed by whatever the fuck Inui made. He makes sports drinks or whatever. Basically, it's just smoothies with, like, celery and radishes in it. But, you know, they're teenage boys. Teenage boys don't eat their vegetables. They don't have any roughage in them. That's the point. So they don't like that shit. And they get killed, actually, during these things. They die. But, yeah. So basically, they have a bowling death game. At one point, they have a billiards death game. This is a contradiction, what I just said. They're at the beach, but it's a volleyball episode. So they're playing volleyball the whole episode, doing crazy shit. Kids are dying in Prince of Tennis constantly. Every single one of those episodes is a death game. They had an episode, this is interesting, where they just go and eat yakiniku, and they have a yakiniku fucking tournament. That's interesting. We're going to restaurants. We're discovering everything. Everything that's in this place. It's all around them. That's interesting. I love that. I want to see their neighborhoods. I want to see where they shop. I want to see where they go to the arcades and, you know, play games. Because, you know, they're kids. So it makes sense. But, like, we're always going to the beach. We're always going to a hot spring. Go somewhere else. As we draw to a close, I just want to know, like, do you guys like filler episodes? If you do you have any you really like in that, you know, since they're so separated from the plot usually, do you want me to watch it? Like, I like recommendations. I like knowing what's going on in the world. So, yeah, just, if you have a filler episode you actually do enjoy, like from Western cartoons or anime, just send them my way. Like, I wouldn't mind watching it. Maybe I'll review it. Who knows? I might become an anime review channel. The world and the possibilities are endless. But to wrap up a little bit, let me just, too long didn't watch. I like filler episodes. I think they can add a lot to the characters. I think that, you know, it's wasted potential, not wasted space, that make them a problem. So, tips and tricks. I don't have any. I'm not an animator. I don't write for anime. But just go somewhere else. Make it as mundane as possible. I'm going with my fucking guy. What's an anime protagonist I can name now? I'm not gonna name Naruto. I'm going to the fucking store with Luffy. Me and my guy Luffy, we're just going to the fucking, like, convenience store, and he walks in, he starts eating up everything. I'm just like, Luffy, you can't be doing that. And he's just like, nah, don't worry about it. He's just eating everything up. Leaves the store. I'm stuck there. I don't know where he is. I'm just like, why did he just leave me like that? What the fuck? So, the convenience store girl is looking at me, I'm looking at her. We're giving each other eye contact. I just say I'm not with him, and I walk out too. That's my filler episode for my life, but unfortunately that would also count as it being the "it was all a dream" episode for my anime. Anyways, yeah, so, send me filler episodes you like, send me filler episodes you don't like. Maybe I'll like it. Who knows? But moral of the story is, give filler episodes a chance if you never really do that. Like, don't just skip them. But also, expect better from filler episodes. If you find one and it's just them going to the beach, try getting something out of it. But know that you can find better. They could do better with their filler episodes. Okay, that's it. I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Go watch some of my other videos. I have a few, surprisingly. But, go watch those. There's a 1 hour long Grinch episode if you didn't see that. Fucking crazy I did that still. Very proud of it. I hope you enjoyed your new year. I'll talk to you next time. Take care. I'm back. I completely forgot about the filler episode from Dragon Ball Z where Piccolo and Goku learn how to drive a car. That is one of the best filler episodes of all time. Why wouldn't I remember that? Literally, the greatest one. You learn that Goku and Piccolo can't drive, but also Piccolo's good at driving. So it's like, what? You learn so much about these characters who spend most of their time fighting aliens. That fucking rules.